Hello Admirals and welcome back to my channel where I talk to you about Battlefleet Gothic, the Space Fleet game based in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. I previously have done one showcase video, which was my Imperial Ironclad fleet, and that was a choice for you Admirals. That one won out. And I said I was going to do more of these, so I thought I'd do some more sporadic ones, and the playlist was looking a little bit sad and lonely with just one. So I'm over going to New Zealand this weekend, so I figured it would be a good time to show off another showcase video, another fleet that I've done, a little bit of lore behind it, and a few of the conversions and thoughts behind it and all that. And as part of that choice originally, it was that between the Ironclad and Slaanesh, and there was actually quite a lot of popularity for Slaanesh. And with the release of the new Emperor's Children models and everything in Warhammer 40k, what better time to showcase the Slaanesh fleet, and even one of the lieutenants that looks after that fleet. So yeah, let's go check out my Slaanesh Chaos fleet. So here's my Slaaneshi fleet, Admirals. So yeah, I've been a little bit of a lore background first, I suppose, on Slaanesh fleet. I have 4 different Chaos fleets, all of the different Chaos gods, and that was kind of how I always wanted to paint the different Chaos fleets and kind of do it. So I have all 4, and the idea was that there was a big bad guy who controlled them all. He was the War Master, and he was in charge of the Khorne fleet, which I'll show it again. And then he had 8 lieutenants. And each of the lieutenants would kind of take control of the different facets of the different patrons. So what that allowed me to do is not only paint different ships and all that, which I'll go into in a little bit, and paint different schemes. For example, I've got my Nurgle scheme, which I'll just show, like for example, like that. I've got my Chaos Khorne theme, sort of the red, like that. And I've got my Tzeentch theme, which is, where are you? There you are. Bring that over. So I've got the Tzeentch theme as well. So, and I'll show all those different fleets one day. So this was Slaanesh, and I really wanted to make this garish and all that sort of stuff. But the lieutenants, so the idea was not only I could paint different Chaos ships and different color schemes, but also I could paint some different models of different Chaos as lieutenants of and admirals of the fleet, essentially. So this is actually a Phobos miniature. It's not a 40k miniature, and I wanted to paint them all kind of differently and make them all different kind of miniatures. So this is the leader of the Slaanesh fleet. This is Lady Arabina, a fallen sisters of battle that leads the fleet. And the idea was that she'd have, this is called the Exquisite host, and she leads this fleet as the admiral, and she leads it on board. I think I called this something like the Omens of Torment or something like that. But this was her despoiler battleship that she would be in charge of. And I made up some like fan kind of basic rules for that, but that aside. But the idea was that she would lead that. She was one of the War Master's chosen lieutenants, and the reason why she wasn't originally going to join them, but she really has a hatred of all things Eldar, and she had a view. There was a craft world that was floating around called Clan Ruin in the Tibidius sector, and she wanted to destroy it because she wanted to sell the souls or to Slaanesh, prove her worthy. But the War Master got to it first, and his name is War Master Vargas, got to it first and destroyed it first, and as kind of so she was upset about that, and so she didn't want to join him at all and be an understudy or anything like that. But then she found out that he was presenting a offering, and as part of that, playing nice, buying someone off, I suppose, he offered something. I kind of created something called the Soul Slicer, which is a ridiculous name when I think about it. But the idea was that it was an amazing torture device against Eldar, and it would suck out and torture Eldar souls and give them to Slaanesh. And so Vargas, to buy off Lady Arabina, I should say, was she would get that. And so she installed it on her battleship, and she can now go after Eldar and take their souls in a more nasty, evil way for Slaanesh and all that. So that was kind of the lore behind the Slaanesh fleet I wanted. It gave me like a chance, and I have admirals for all the different Chaos factions, which I'll show one day. But yeah, so it has a few kind of conversions that I wanted to just pick out for all of you. I've added some classic Dark Eldar, ironically, Dark Eldar pieces to a few of the ships. I found them quite Slaanesh looking, and obviously adding in a couple of different Slaanesh icons here and there. I'm particularly quite happy with the garish paint scheme, which I feel is very Slaanesh. This is the Desolator battleship. I know pink, purple, and black and gold is probably quite horrific, but I think it's quite Slaanesh-y, to be perfectly honest. So there's 5 cruisers in this fleet. The idea is that there's a little bit of everything in the fleet in reality. There's a Hades, there's a Carnage or Murder, however you want to do it. Same there, or we can transfer them as Slaughterers. I got a Styx as a battlecruiser and a Devastation to add the Ordnance platform as well. We've got a few Escorts in here, the Iconoclasts and Infidels in here, just to add a little bit of escort punch in there with torpedoes and a couple of things like that. Obviously the spoiler, I really like it. I think it's actually a really good ship. It's like the Chaos version of the Emperor. And I just added a Noise Marine kind of thing on the front. Varying different paint times for me. I painted some of these a long time ago, and then some others I painted maybe 5 years ago, and then some most recently I painted this, which I wanted to... This is probably the main conversion of the fleet. It's a repulsive Grand Cruiser prow on a Chaos battleship hull. That's what I want, and that's the word I'm looking for. And then just a few chains and a few bits and bobs and things like that added to it on it. And I called this the Bellerophon class because I quite like the name, to be perfectly honest. I can't remember if I made up rules for it, to be perfectly honest. But just another battleship that I added in. That's probably the latest to it. A couple of Grand Cruisers, which I showed. That's the repulsive Grand Cruiser. So that's, you can see the prow on that, the difference. And then this is the sort of the Imperial version, and then all kind of made up. So again, painted it. This thing is one of the most difficult models to make because it's solid metal. It'll keep it together. So yeah, that's the Slaanesh fleet. So a little bit about it, and it kind of works like any other Chaos fleet. I could add more ships into this, but as I said, I've got a number of other Chaos fleets so that I can just bring in ships if I want, if I'm missing something, or if I want to add in, say, another Devastation, I can do that with one of the other 3 Chaos ships. Maybe I will paint some more in the future. I'm not sure. It's always fun to kind of paint these bright kind of garish schemes. And it's always fun to play with them on the server. It's very, they stick out like a sore thumb. Very Slaanesh, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a fun fleet. I do enjoy adding some of the Dark Eldar bits and bobs to it, but it does just operate like any other Chaos fleet in reality. It can stick together, move apart. It has different options and things like that, with the spoiler providing a really good, solid and ordnance platform, I find. But if I want to really just rush in and smash things, then I've got the couple of Grand Cruisers, and I've got the Desolator, which can rush in with its lances, things like that, partnering with like a Hades or 2 Murders. So, which is a classic kind of combo, to be perfectly honest. Desolator along with a Hades and 2 Murders is pretty classic as a Chaos fleet goes. So just wanted to do kind of just a standard, it's a very standard fleet, just painted in a very obscene kind of scheme for you all. So I'll just do a little bit more of a kind of a side shot for you. And yeah, and like I said, I've tried to paint a leader for all of my fleets, to be perfectly honest. This one's painted many moons ago, so you can clearly see that. But it's nice to keep, I think, models that you painted, many years ago that you can improve upon now. For example, this, I know I could definitely improve upon this paint scheme. But it's nice to look back and go, I find that, and have evidence of improvement in your painting, I suppose. So yeah, this is the Slaanesh fleet in all its garish glory. I hope you like it. There you have, Admirals, my Slaanesh fleet. I have other fleets for the other Chaos patrons. I have a Zinch, a Khorne, and a Nurgle fleet. And I typically use them all in kind of interchangeably. So if I'm missing a ship class from one fleet, then I'll just use another one into it to kind of do it, and so it kind of like Chaos United sort of thing. So I typically do try and keep them individual and play individual, but sometimes if I'm playing something bigger or I want to sort of change it up, I'll throw in a different ship and that sort of thing. But ultimately, yeah, that's my Slaanesh fleet. So I hope you like that showcase, and I think I'll put up another poll in a little bit, just two different fleets, completely different from these two for you. And if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments, and let me know what fleets you'd like to see in the future. Until then, thanks very much, Admirals. Cheers for watching.